There's a certain degree of idiot. Alright everybody, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to maximize your gameplay experience in Red Dead Redemption 2 with these controls. I'm tired of hearing people bitch about the controls. I myself was one of them. If you're not into this kind of thing, I understand. I apologize. I will have an impressions video for you tomorrow. But right now, I just want to get you on the right track as far as controls. Here's what you got to do. Pay close attention. Now, my man Daltontigerboy, shout outs to him. He sent me all this yesterday. I know I should have had a video out yesterday, but I really wanted to play with these settings first. It reads, I know a lot of babies on the internet have been complaining about how Red Dead 2 controls and how Rockstar games in general control bad. A lot of it's due to the terrible default settings Rockstar uses. Amen. The default values on camera movement control were bad in GTA 5, and they kept the same settings and same values for Red Dead 2, which is a shame because most people will never mess with any of this and drastically improve their gameplay experience. I'm attaching a screenshot with some suggested settings adjustments. Okay, here's screenshot number 1. This is what he did. Make sure you look close at this. Do exactly what he's got right here. And I'm going to show you what I do. I've made some tweaks to this on the PlayStation. One setting in particular. He's got his aim assist strength all the way up on his mount. I turn that down to default. Aim assist on foot is off completely. Just put in what you got right here. Okay, let's go to screenshot number 2. I played GTA 5 for years and enough to know how big of a difference these settings make for third person. If he's been playing GTA 5 for years on PlayStation, I'm going to take his word for it. I know you're pretty big on how a game controls. Yes, I am, so I figured I could pass this on to you. Hell, once I made these adjustments, it's now enjoyable to play this game with free aim and zero aim assist while on foot combat. Keep the auto aim for horse combat, though. Absolutely. Okay. Make these changes accordingly. First person auto level camera off. First person field of view, turn it all the way up. First person head bobbing, put it to reduce. First person aim auto center, put it to off. First person cover, put it to off. So you're going to have a Deus Ex where when you take cover from first person, it's going to go into third person. It feels much more natural that way. Do that. Enter in these settings. At first I was hesitant, because I had my aim acceleration turned down. He says it needs to be all the way up. Yes, you will get used to it. It's gonna feel weird at first. Stop stuttering, moron. Please read, this is huge. This is a big one. And this wasn't in my screenshot, but turn the third-person control type to standard FPS. This is a revelation. It remaps crouch to X, but it also remaps jog, sprint to the left stick. Click once to jog, click again to sprint. This allows you with the gun drawn to be able to run while controlling your camera at the same time. It fixes mobility in combat and makes it play like any other third-person action game. Do that. I'm going to show you how I've tweaked it. For HDR, quick side note, for HDR, go into your PlayStation settings. Forget turning it off in games. Go into your PlayStation settings, go to sound and screen, and turn HDR off completely for this game. Go into your TV settings after that with Red Dead Redemption 2 on and adjust the picture accordingly. Man, I'm stuttering all over the place. Gosh, how hard is it to talk? Yeah, and I love that. Okay, these are the tweaks that I've made to this formula. Pay close attention. Aim assist strength on foot, turn it off. For the love of God, turn it off. There's still a degree of auto aim, so it can absolutely be off. I go to alternate FPS for PlayStation. So you use, can you see my controller? You probably can't see it. You use L1 and R1 to aim and shoot. People, this is vastly superior on PlayStation. I love it. Do not do this on Xbox. For Xbox, keep it on standard FPS. So change it to standard FPS. I think that's what you change it to. Yeah. I turn it to alternate FPS so I can use L1 and R1 to shoot. It's much more comfortable. You don't have that pull on the controller because of the trigger pull. Kind of like real life shooting. You want to be surprised by the trigger pull. You don't want a lot of trigger pull because then you tend to pull at the gun. Anyways, look sensitivity, I turn that down. Now, Dalton had it here. I turn it down to default. Because your aim sensitivity and the look sensitivity when it's at this setting are about the same. I'll show you what I mean. Dead zone, for the love of God, people, you got to turn that off. Okay. Now, look at the aiming movement. And then I'll show you free aim speed. Okay, it's slightly faster, even still, and I turn it way down. So when it's all the way up with the aiming controls, it feels way too fast. Okay, another thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're pushing right thumbstick to look behind you and then aim. And you'll do a quick turn. Boom, aim. Make sure you're doing that. You're pushing the right thumbstick. So if you're not doing that, slap yourself, start doing that. Okay, now I'm going to show you. I got to see what you're seeing really. Let's flip this up. I'm going to show you in Broken Games HD, discovered this. This is not my discovery. This is why the controls feel kind of sluggish. The movement of the right stick, you see that? There's a delay. Now, I'm surprised I didn't catch this, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real. I don't pay much attention to movement controls. As long as my aiming is responsive, that's all I care about. Okay, let's get the right stick in here. I don't even know why I have to do this. They can see for themselves. Okay, the aiming is pretty much instantaneous. Okay, so I'm not too concerned. I can't see what I'm doing. I'm not too concerned with the movement. Now, that is why it feels clunky. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done about that because that's just the way the controls are. You're going to have to get used to it. So it can feel clunky at times, but trust me, this drastically cleans up the controls and makes it feel a lot better. All right, so if you're not doing this, make sure you do it. Boom, turn around to aim. It's just much more responsive. You can aim, it's a lot better. You can make little circles. Look at this. Little circles. Okay, make sure you turn them dead zones off. That's the first thing I do when I get a game, is I aim down my sights and I try to make little circles with the right thumbstick to see how responsive it is, to measure the degree of dead zones that I'm dealing with, and it's much better like this. Trust me, much better, much easier to aim, and I don't have my rifle right now. I think he's just out of range. But anyways, try that. Let me know what you think. It's gonna feel drastic at first. It's gonna feel drastic because your aim acceleration's all the way up. But trust me, you're gonna get used to it. Okay? So just do it. Just do it and you'll like it a lot better. Let me show you first person. Boom. There's first person. You see I'm not bobbing around all over the place? Much cleaner, much better. Kind of like Skyrim now. You just hold down right stick, boom, quick turn. Boom, quick turn. All right, so make sure you're doing that. All right, those are your controls. Stop crying. Enter these controls and play the greatest game ever created and play it more efficiently now. Thank you. All right, I'll holler at you later. Cut the camera.